Hey guys, Eric Smith here with a take five on yesterday's roster moves by the Dolphins. We woke up, waiting for Chris Greer to make some sort of roster move, and we all knew that Jalen Ramsey was not going to play for the Dolphins in 2025, and it seemed like a bit of a toss up for Jonnu Smith. And Chris Greer had the challenge of trying to resolve both of those situations, and he did in a big way. He traded Ramsey, Smith, and a 2027 seventh round pick to the Steelers for former Dolphins first round pick, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and a 2027 fifth round pick. Obviously, the cornerback room is going to be weaker minus Jalen Ramsey, but I think that's something that we all knew was going to happen. We were not expecting Ramsey to play as a Dolphin in 2025, and moving on from Jonnu Smith, a lot of debate as to how big of an impact that is and who can replace that production. Spoiler alert: they signed Darren Waller today, bringing him out of retirement, while traded for him from the Giants and signed a 1 year contract. More on that later. Today, we're just going to talk about Minkah. He was drafted number 11 overall out of Alabama in the 2018 draft by the Dolphins. Played a season there before getting traded to the Steelers for a first round pick that eventually turned into Austin Jackson. During his time with the Steelers, he was a five-time Pro Bowler, including each of the last three seasons, three-time first-team All-Pro, and he also finished 10th in NFL Defensive Player of the Year voting in 2022 when he had a career-high 6 interceptions. Obviously the Dolphins have overhauled the safety room over the last 2 years, and it's hard for the safeties to be expected to be worse than what they were last year. But there's still a lot of questions there, right? We got Ife Melifonwu, Ashton Davis, Elijah Campbell, Patrick McMorris, and then rookie Dante Trader Jr. All guys that I think most fans like their potential in this system, but still have some questions. So bringing in an established vet like Fitzpatrick helps to answer some of those questions. His usage in Pittsburgh, he was mostly used as a single high or split safety looks. Going through his 2024 film, I'm going to have a detailed breakdown probably here in the next few days, maybe a week. In the middle of the season, he played a little more box safety, slot corner, and also boundary corner as well. I think that versatility, he was good in all those roles. So even though his snap counts may be dominated by deep safety, doesn't mean he's not capable of doing the other stuff. He's not a thumper. He's not going to, put his body on the line unnecessarily, but that's not a bad thing either. He stayed healthy throughout his career for the most part. I think his versatility creates a lot of options in the secondary. We know that Kader Kohu is going to be one of the starting corners. We don't know who the other starting corner is going to be, and we definitely don't know who the slot corner is going to be when we go into those nickel packages. I think with the addition of Fitzpatrick, that Ife Melifonwu is probably the lead candidate to start opposite of Minkah Fitzpatrick, but whether it's injuries or performance, Ashton Davis could be part of that equation as well. And those are two very different players. So I think the addition of Fitzpatrick creates that versatility that, regardless of who you have on the field between your corners and your safeties, you've got a player in Fitzpatrick that can help to fill in the gaps that you have. And, you can get your best players on the field and not worry about, where you need to fill in those gaps. Fitzpatrick at this point, right, he's not going to be, probably not going to be an NFL player defense of the year. He's not an answer to the secondary on his own, right? And it doesn't guarantee that the strategy that they're moving towards with this secondary is going to work out. But I do think that he does answer multiple questions within that secondary. And I think, the biggest takeaway here is that when you consider that talking about Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith, we were talking about what day three picks we could get back for those guys. Nobody had Minkah Fitzpatrick on their radar. So when you come out of that trade, with a day three pick, a fifth round pick, and you get Minkah Fitzpatrick, who is going to step in, be a key part of that defense from day one, still has several good years left. I think this has to be considered